Hello, Arwen.
Hi,
How are you today?
I'm good.
Good. What's up?
Uh, just being normal day, but yesterday, the day before yesterday, I just had allergy attack.
You had an allergy attack?
Yes,
Oh,
my skin just felt itchy whole day.
the entire
And
day?
yeah, entire day. And I went to clinic, took some medicine, and what's that? Uh, the skin ointment. Ointment. You put that on your skin. Yeah, and right now I feel better.
Good. Good.
Hmm.
Yeah. So what were you allergic to?
I know.
Not sure?
Maybe not sure. Not sure about that. Maybe I just feel weak
Hmm.
recently, or maybe the weather changing, or I don't know. I
Hmm.
don't know the reason.
Okay. Well,
Hmm.
feel better though?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. I'm glad you feel better. I'm sorry that happened. Has that happened before?
Yes. Not much, but I think happen once a year in general.
Happens once a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's too bad. Um, I don't really have any allergies now personally. Well, a while ago I used to have some food allergies, but those have
Oh.
mostly gone away. I don't know why. I used to get really bad headaches, like a twisting headache up in here, if I ate or even smelled certain seafood, shrimp, scallops. And it sucks too because I really like shrimp. It's delicious, but
Yeah.
it would give me from the age of about 13 until about 25, 24. It gave me really bad headaches. One day I was at work and the hotel where I worked offered a free meal for all the employees every day. Kind of a nice perk. And some days the food was terrible, but some days it was good. And this day they had a really good looking seafood soup and it had bits of shrimp in it. And I knew, well, if I eat that, I'm going to get a terrible headache. But it looked so good, Arwen. I was like, I don't care. I'll get the headache. I'll just take an Advil. I don't care. I'm eating the damn food. Right? So I did. And I didn't get a headache. First time in over 10 years. I'm like, I was fully expecting my head's going to kill me. I don't care. I'm going to eat it. But and from that point, no headache pain. I don't know why. Something changed in me, and the histamines didn't affect me anymore. So, what about you, Emma? Do you have any allergies?
Before I was about 26 years or before that, I am not allergic for everything. No.
Allergic to anything. I wasn't allergic to anything.
I wasn't allergic to anything.
Or you could say I had no allergies. That would be fine too. I had no allergies.
I had no allergen, but about 27 or 28 years old, something happened, just like you. I don't know why, and I become allergic to shrimp.
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 The food, the shrimp.
Yes.
Food, shrimp.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we typically use the verb develop there instead of become. So you could say I developed a shrimp allergy.
I developed develop the shrimp allergy.
Developed a shrimp allergy.
A shrimp allergy.
Mm-hmm. That's typically how we would say it.
Okay. And then after 3 years until now, I'm 33 years old. I had no allergy to anything. It's getting better now. I don't know why.
So I haven't been allergic
I
to
haven't been.
anything. Yeah, for the last 3 years. Good. Well, that's good. Yeah. What about you, Arwen? So do you have any like food allergies, or, you know, some people are allergic to certain soaps, you know, you can't put the soap in the clothes, they get all itchy, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I used to have no allergy, but 1 or 2 years ago, I just realized I developed a mushroom allergy, and it's a specific mushroom. Every time I ate it, I just puke. I puke.
You throw up, yeah.
Yeah, I throw up very badly.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, it's so weird. It just happened one day, and don't know why.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. You know, I don't know how it is with you and the mushrooms, but with me, I love shrimp as a kid. It was one of my favorite things. So when I couldn't eat it anymore, it was very sad, you know, and my parents like would cook it. So it'd be my dad, my mom, and my sister eating shrimp, and I'm eating chicken, you know, and I'm like, I want the shrimp, and I couldn't have it, you know, so it might be like that with you, Arwen, and the mushroom, you know. See, and when you can't have something, you want it more.
Yeah.
Right. Like, now I really want the mushroom, you know, before, yeah, mushroom. Now I want the mushroom. Yeah. I wonder if Jody has any allergies. We'll have to ask her. I don't know how it is with you guys. You can tell me. For us Americans, it's very normal to talk about allergies and things. It's not any point of like shame or anything like that. Is that true for Taiwanese too? No problem there?
Yeah, I think so. It's very common.
Okay. I think maybe in some cultures that's like private and you shouldn't talk about that. For us, it's like we talk about it all the time, no problem. Don't want to offend. Good. All right. Well, Arwen, I'm sorry that you had that, and hopefully you feel better. So what about you, Emma? What have you been up to?
I've been working my Cambodia project. It's a new app. This time we talk about, and the content for the app is not important. But today I had a new topic with my colleague. We talk about how do you booking the right time for meeting, because some of us want to earlier for meeting, and some of us want later, because our off time, my time to off is about how.
So if you say this in plurals, it helps the listener understand, right? Our times with S, right? Our times off. And that way I know as the native speaker, you're referring not just to your time off, but to all your colleagues, right? So our times off, and then I would use the verb vary, V-A-R-Y, right? Our times off vary. So you can't coordinate your times off, right? Our times off vary.
Our times very different.
Our times are, now that's different, right? Now you're using very, meaning like you're adding emphasis. So our times off are very different.
Our times are very different. And so we talk about what time should be the appropriate time.
Yeah, I would use the word ideal, not appropriate. What's the ideal? Yeah, ideal. Ideal and appropriate are kind of different words, right? So you have ideal and appropriate. So wait, I spelled that wrong, sorry. Ideal, there it is. What would be the ideal meeting time?
Okay. And in my opinion, because my time for off is about 5 o'clock p.m. And another colleague is about 6:30 p.m. So he want have a meeting about 4:30 p.m.
He wants to meet or have a meeting.
He want had a meeting
at 4:30.
4:30, yes, but it's too late for me.
Yeah.
So we had because I used to review my daily work, my daily item, and check all the item I need to do for the last 30 minutes before I off.
Yeah, no one wants to have a meeting in the last half hour of their day. I mean, nobody wants that. You're tired and you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. So you need to find a way to coordinate. I put that word in the chat. Coordinate is the verb. Your ideal meeting times. Yeah. Have you ever heard of Doodle Poll? Doodle Poll?
No.
Doodle Poll. Yes, it is a website or an app, I think. But Doodle Poll is actually a good thing for this. I had to use it when I was studying my dissertation because I had 4 people on my committee and they all have different, I can do Tuesday at 9. No, I can do Wednesday at 11. No, I can do, it was terrible. So Doodle Poll is a thing you can send out and people put their times. I can meet these times, and then anything that works for everybody gets like highlighted. So Tuesday at 11 works for everybody. It's not a bad website. Doodle Poll. And it's free. The best price ever. Emma, free. We like free, right? Yes. So did you get it resolved? Here's a good word. Did you get it resolved, Emma?
No, because we disagree with each other, and but our goal is to solve the problem. So we need to have a meeting, because when I want to move the meeting to another day, about next day, early we can have a meeting. I can come to office earlier, but another guy or girls, they say no, we come to office later than you. So no.
Well, it's hard to link up, my friends. It's hard to link up. There's a phrasal verb for you. Okay, to link up. And that means to kind of organize and get together. Hard to do it. Hard to link up sometimes. Well, hello, Jody. Thank you for that, Emma. Hello, Jody. How are you?
Hey.
You blurred out your roommate. I was looking at your roommate earlier, but she is gone now. Yes. Does your roommate speak English?
A little.
A little bit. So we can tell secrets about her. She won't understand. Yes.
She will understand.
Oh, no, it's no good. Well, you know what we need to do then? We all need to learn Vietnamese so we can tell secrets about your roommate. Right, Emma? You learn some Vietnamese and then we can tell secrets.
Yes, and my head almost stuck because last time I just on the Vietnamese class, and now I'm in English class, and the grammar is totally confused me.
Yes. It's actually quite difficult to learn more than one language at a time. That's hard to do. When I first went to college, I wanted to be a linguist. So I was taking Spanish, French, German, and Japanese all at the same time. The
All
Japanese.
language at the same time?
Or, well, I'm studying linguistics. That's what you do. You just study languages, nothing else. So the Japanese I dropped right away because I was like, whoa, too hard. So then I tried with the 3, and I kept saying Italian words in French class and French words in German class. And I just stuck with the Spanish. But I was taking Spanish, French. No, was I taking? Yeah, Italian. Yeah, Spanish, French, German, Italian. I was 5 classes? Damn. Yeah, so I just kept with the Spanish. So anyway, Jody, so minus your blurry roommate, how are you doing today?
Huh?
Minus your
My
blurry roommate. Yeah, your blurry room. In other words, you put your background on blur, so I can't see your roommate anymore. So how are you doing today? Oh,
How are you doing today?
wait, how do you say that? Ni hao, ta hao ma? Ni hao ma? Oh, Jody's got a freaky camera. Yeah. Hello, Jody's roommate. Hello.
Hi.
Good evening to you. How are we today?
We?
Yeah, that's the royal we. The royal we use. The Queen of England talks like that. Anyway, Jody, please go ahead. Tell me what's up with you. How have you been?
Great.
Good. Anything new?
Oh, I went to a therapist.
A therapist? Mm-hmm.
Yes. On Tuesday. Yes. To know to fix my problems of my hands and my hips or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my body always been sore.
So
And
you would
a
probably
little-
use this in a noun form then that you possess, right? I have had soreness. I have had soreness.
So I have had soreness
Mhm.
of my left side's body,
Mhm. On the left side of my body.
my body.
Mhm.
Yes. So I went to a therapist and the doctor taught me some not exercise but
Techniques, some techniques.
yes,
Mhm.
yes, to stretch my body and to let my muscle get ease.
So to probably say to help my muscles relax or to
Yes.
yeah. Mhm.
To relax my muscles,
Mhm.
and that's quite effective.
It has been, probably use that in present perfect, right? It has been effective.
It has been effective.
Mhm. Good.
So
Excellent.
I feel good.
Mhm. Nice. Well, good. Maybe I can talk to this person. They can help me. Right? My sciatic is killing me. Too much time in the chair. So Jody, my
Yeah.
friend, the word therapist, we Americans typically almost always use for someone who does mental health. That's like a psychologist or a psychiatrist. We would call my therapist. Now, if you mean with the body, then we would add the word physical. I went to physical therapy. Okay, so if you say therapist to an American, they're going to think you mean a psychologist or a psychiatrist, unless you explain otherwise. It's not wrong. It's not grammatically wrong, but I immediately thought you meant like a psychiatrist.
Mhm.
And I'm like, Jody's completely normal. She doesn't need therapy. I don't understand. Right. Well, I'm glad that you feel better then, my friend. So we typically call that I went to a physical therapist, or a lot of Americans say PT. I got some PT.
Mm.
Yeah. Good. So for just one side of your body, just the left side?
Left side was the worst side.
Mhm.
because my left side was weak.
Mm.
So it has more stress when I work.
Mm. And again, I'm not a physical therapist, but I just give you advice from life. You might want to change the way you sleep. You know, I don't know what side you sleep on, if you sleep on your back, if you sleep, but try to rotate. So if you always sleep on one side, you know, try to flip and sleep on the other side. You know, if you sleep on your back, try to sleep on your side, you know, just change it up. I found I get a lot of neck pain, So I have to constantly change my pillow. Sometimes I use a little bitty pillow, put it on my neck. Sometimes I use a huge pillow, lay on my side. Sometimes I use no pillow. And I found if I change it up, it hurts less. I don't know why, but seems to work. So
Okay, I'll try.
change and force yourself. It might be uncomfortable, but like, you know, I'm going to sleep on my left side today or whatever, and see if that helps. Right? What about you, Arwen? What do you think about that? You a side sleeper, back sleeper?
I'm a side sleeper.
On your side?
And yeah, and I went to had a physical therapist before. I recommend Jody go try it for several years. I think it's really helpful. At least you know the reason what made you feel bad, and you just change your behavior or practice understand yourself better. I think is really helpful because lots of my friends they choose Chinese traditional therapy, and it's much more cheaper, but they almost never told you why it happened. And physical therapists, our healthcare doesn't pay for it, so it's much more expensive.
Expensive.
Expensive, yeah. Yeah, but I think it's worth it.
It's worth it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. You know, my wife studied physical therapy. That's what she did in Columbia, right? She was a physical therapist. Yeah. So there's been some time, and she studied traditional Chinese medicine. There's been some times I've had some back pain, and she like bends me, and it hurts. Oh, it hurts bad. But I feel better afterward. But when she's doing, I'm like, oh my God, stop! Go for it. You know, it hurts. You know, but then afterwards, I feel better. So it's a good thing. What about you, Emma? Have you ever gone to see a physical therapist?
Yes, of course. I've been treat my body for years, but after that I learned some technique to fix my own body at home, because I know I need to sit on the desk for over 8 hours or 10 hours a day. And then I love to play volleyball. So I need to make sure my body is steady. So every day before I went to bed, I will when I go to bed, I will do some yoga activity to strengthen your body, like when you lay down on the floor, you can twist your body left side and right
stretch.
side.
Right.
Stretch.
Yeah.
And it's the same concept to relax your muscle before you go to bed. Because when your muscle on the time on a very tight status and you go to bed, and next day you will become worse.
Stiff is the word we use. STIFF. 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 And you have stiff is an adjective. The verb is to stiffen. And the noun is stiffness, right? So those are the things that, those might be new words for y'all, but so stiff is an adjective. I feel stiff. My muscles are stiff. The verb is to stiffen. Yeah. Very, very Germanic English word. Good. Well, what about, so thank you for that. Let's go to Arwen then. So Arwen, before, we were talking, anything new, exciting in your world? Anything pressing? Anything noteworthy?
Yeah. Today I took metro with my two coworkers. We talk about work and life. And
what was that word you said? I took natural. I didn't catch that.
Metro subway.
You took the metro. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
metro.
the metro. And we talk about busy life. And I said sometimes I feel proud of my busy status. I have lots of work, I have lots of meetings, kind of stressed, but kind of proud of that, because if I'm busy, it means I have value, kind of like, wow, I'm important and I can deal with lots of issues. It's toxic. And I talk to my coworkers, and one of my coworker, she's a designer as well. She said, yeah, I felt the same way. And we also put our personal value relate to how busy we are and our work I don't know how to say that. And it's very interesting thing, because my coworker just told me that she always won't find someone to talk about this topic, but her friends don't have same feeling with her. And I said, me too. And I don't know, I'm curious about how everyone think about this.
Well, good. Let's do that then. So why don't let's go to Emma. Emma, what do you think?
I think it's very good because you can enjoy your life and work at that moment. No matter you are busy or you are nothing to do, you just love your work, and you think it's very worth to yourself. And also there you have another friend can share the same feeling with you, and I think it's a very great moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Joy, what do you think?
Arwen is lucky to have a job she loves, so she can enjoy it. But I know I'm still searching for the dream job for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I can't suffer the too busy life.
No, I
It
don't.
makes
I
me
can't
tired.
suffer the two. I didn't catch that. What do you mean by that, Joy?
I can't be too busy. It will make me very tired. Not
Well,
feeling.
in that sense, when you say can't, it's like it almost means like you have 10 jobs, so you can't be very busy in one of them. Do you mean like I don't like being busy, or what do you mean?
I don't like being busy.
Okay, I don't like being too, and then you would use too, TOO, because that is the word we use when it's a negative excess, right? So I don't like being too busy. Mm-hmm. Okay, please go ahead. I don't like being too busy.
Yes.
Do you mean in general, or with your current job now, or just in general?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I find a lovely job. I will like enjoy it like Arwen do.
Okay, so I think what we want, I understand now. What we would say is this. If, we're speaking conditionals, right? If I had the perfect job, then, you know, probably something with wood, right? I wouldn't mind working all the time, or I would work all the time, whatever, right? So it would be an if would conditional. And then you could add in a caveat, right? A caveat. A caveat's a good word for us, caveat. When you say, but with my current job, I don't like being too busy. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess what caveat means?
No.
Good word, caveat. Very fancy word. Yes, you have to be educated. Right? A lot of Americans would know what caveat. See, when I was at the casino, I would say things like this. Like, I have a caveat for you. And they go, yeah. They don't know what caveat means. They're like, Adam sounds smart. So anyway, a caveat is when, like, I tell you a bunch of things are true, but there's one little bit in here, little different, little not true, right? Caveat. Good word to put into dictionary.com. It's like a warning. Here, let's put this on the thing here. And I actually, now this definition I kind of like from dictionary.com, but here's a part I think is a little, it's like a horror movie. Look at that. There's a horror movie called Caveat. This is how I think of it. This bit right here. Right?
Limitation.
Yeah, some type of like a limitation or a caution. Yeah, a caveat.
Caveat.
Ever heard that word before? Yeah, I like new words.
Yeah.
All right. So, Jody, you like to be busy, maybe, but with your current job, not so much, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But you're busy all the time, Jody. You're always working late.
That's why I hate it. Because I work a lot, but can feel valuable.
I think you'd say fulfilled. This is the verb you want, right? I don't feel fulfilled.
Yes.
Oh.
And that literally it's one of these things, right? Fulfilled. I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel complete. I don't feel like I'm, really getting the most out of this work. I don't feel fulfilled.
For example, I got some design from our client's designer from America, and it looks the drafting looks fine, but when I started to look at it carefully, I found it a mess. It was a shit. Maybe that designer have some ideas, but their training are so bad that they can draw the right picture. And it we often had their drafting, but we have to reproduce it.
You have to redo. Redo is probably the word.
Redo.
And
it takes a lot of time.
And that's frustrating. You're probably looking, it's frustrating is the word you want. Oh,
frustrating.
This is American, Jody? American? Really? Yeah. But everything we do is perfect, Jody.
So I decided to learn English more, make my English better. And
do you want to tell the American in very eloquent English, hey, by the way, you suck. You're terrible at your job. Who taught you? Who taught you how to do this? Why are you so terrible? That's what you want, right?
Yeah, and they earn a lot.
They earn a lot too? Oh no. So they get a lot of money
They earn
and
a
they're
lot, and
bad?
at the same time, I earn the shit.
Oh, well, that's not nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now we're getting into the depth of Jody. We're understanding what motivates Jody. I get it now. This is good. Well, I'm sorry about that, Jody. You know, we find these unfairnesses, which is not a word in English, by the way. I just made that. But, unfairnesses in English, in the world, not in English, in the world. Sometimes, you know, in education where I work, there are some college professors who make a ton of money, Jody, ton, and they do nothing. They do nothing.
Yeah.
They make 200, 300,000 US dollars a year. They write no books. They barely teach any classes. They do nothing. And then there's other people like me. They get a class here and there, pay me a few thousand. Nothing. Not fair. Yeah, well, I'm sorry about that, Jody. We hopefully can get your English very good, and then you can tell them how terrible they are. Yeah. Right. Well, you know what? If you can, I don't know what you are allowed to share or not share, but anything that you can, send it over to the chat. I'd be interested to see some bad designs, you know, if you're allowed to share that. Yeah. So what do you think about that, Arwen? We got some people here. They're getting paid a lot of money. They don't do a good job. Does that happen in your experience or not so much?
Yeah, I kind of understand that, but I'm happy that Emma and Jody how can I say that? Encourage me, but I think it's hard to explain the feelings. It just I'm good at focus on my work, but I'm bad at having fun. So for me, how to have fun is the thing I need to learn, and I'm still learning.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a tough one, right? We want to work and we want to make money and we want to buy a house or whatever it is we want to do.
Yeah.
And more and next year and then I'll do it later and then you're dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know, tough one. Right? I personally have always tried to balance that as best I can, but it's not easy to do. Well, good topic, right? Emma, what about you? Anything pressing on your mind?
Yes. We want to talk deep, right?
Well, we've already learned so much about Jody today. So let's talk about
it did something happen in my mind because last year, last year I checked the global salary for user interface designer and the visual designer and also user
visual. Yeah, that's a tough one. Right? Yeah. So just real quick to interrupt you. So that has two of the vibrating sounds in English, right? Vi and then it's zh. It's that kind of vibrating like ZJ sound. It's the least common of the four. So visual. And it's kind of like got a diphthong at the end, which is like a diphthong is where two vowels kind of combine into one sound. So you could argue it's a 3-syllable word if you want it. Visual. Yeah, and some native speakers it comes out more like a vowel and then a diphthong, like two sounds like visual. You know. Either way, please go ahead. So a visual.
So okay, I look up on Google for the salary, and you know why in Taiwan our average salary is very, very low. If you do the same thing exactly about you Japanese, Korean, also England and Italian. They are higher than our.
Their average. If I use the word average, their average salaries are much higher, right? They're much higher.
Yes, and so I when I was young, about 26, I want move out to.
I
wanted to move and live in foreign country because their salary is higher than us. But in outside
than ours.
Than ours. But in upside, their cost is much higher than us.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get into that with global economics now, and especially with information-based economics. So for example, the work that I do could be done anywhere, right? And as long as I have access to the American banking system, I can kind of move money around and earn in the way I want to. So where I live doesn't really matter as long as I have the internet connection, then I'm good. Yeah. Right. But with some companies, they won't allow that for like tax purposes. And they know that if you go to a place like Taiwan, this is just the truth. This has actually been true for a long time. We used to have jokes about this in America that the Russians and the Americans hate each other and they both build everything in Taiwan. That was a joke back in like the 1970s, right? American tank, Russian tank, both made in Taiwan, right? Now that's the joke. But in Taiwan and other places too, India is another one. You know, I can get someone who's good at what they do for cheap. That was what they said, right? Well, why pay an American 100,000 when the Taiwanese does just as good a work and you pay them 50? And in some ways that's bad for the American and it's bad for the Taiwanese. The only person is good for is the company making the money, right? The American loses out on a job and the Taiwanese is underpaid. So and that happens in India too. We have like, for example, if you call a 1-800 number for help, a big company, they almost always use, not always, but very frequently, they use customer service from Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, or the Philippines. And Filipinos, you know, just the way life is, a lot of them work for relatively very little, $4 or $5 US an hour. It goes a long way in the Philippines. You can live good with $4 or $5 US in the Philippines, right? So a company says, why am I going to pay an American 20 an hour or 25 an hour when I can pay the Filipino 5? And you say, well, okay, I guess I kind of get it. Yeah. So, but you have cost of living, right? Just because you make more money doesn't mean you are living better. If your rent is 4 times the price, doesn't matter if you're making double the salary, right?
Yeah. Yes. And also I want to share another story because if you right now you feel you want to find a new job and you want to change, just change, because I think it's your prime time.
Prime time, right? Good. You remember that from last time. Yeah, you say I'm in my prime.
I'm in my prime time.
Just prime. You don't need to say prime time. Yeah, I'm in my prime.
Prime, you're prime. Yeah. I think age is not a problem, but the courage from your heart, you want to make big step and do some different or change your life. Just do it right now.
Courage. Great word, by the way. Courage. Has a Latin French root to it. Courage, right? Meaning bravery. You know, are you able to take a risk? Yeah, tough one, right? It's hard. It's hard to take risks, right? We get afraid. You know, will I regret? Tough one. Wow, we're getting real deep today. This is a very good class. Yeah. So anyone have any other, contributions? What do you think, Jody? We've talked about a lot of stuff here. What do you think?
I think what Emma just told us is really encouraging.
Good. Okay. Well, good, Emma. I think you've done a nice job encouraging us. So we don't have that much time left today, but I wanted to talk about there's a thing in the news, and I don't do this too much, but I kind of wanted to do a little practice reading. This is a financial article, all right, written obviously in English. This is by a company called Market Watch. I believe they're an American company. And they do reporting on financial news. So they don't do a lot of political stuff. They might talk about like the war in Russia because it affects, like the price of oil, that kind of thing. But it's more of a financial company. So, and again, this comes from Market Watch. That's the name, Market Watch. You can see up here. So thank you to Market Watch. So could you read this headline for me, Arwen, right here? It says Equifax. Whoops, sorry, 1 second. Equifax, go right ahead.
Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian will soon stop containing medical debate in credit reports. Now for the bad news.
Excellent, very good. So you see here, we have Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Do you all know what these are?
No.
Okay, that's all right. These are 3 companies that do credit reporting. Credit reporting, right? So, in China, they have the social credit score where they judge if your Facebook posts. This is kind of like that, but it's just for money. So in other words, if you have a debt and you don't pay it, you're like, I'm not paying that money. Sometimes companies will report you. And if you want to get credit, like you go to a bank and you want to get money for a car, they will look at your report on these 3 sites or maybe just one of them. Okay. So you get a score. If you have a score of like 500, that's pretty bad. You have bad credit. You have a bad history of paying your money. If you have a score of 800, that's like really, really good. Basically, you could buy any car you wanted. Like they'll give you the money because they know you'll pay. All right. So let's go ahead and continue. Jody, can you read the subtitle or the subheading number 2 right here?
Credit reporting is what's
Agencies.
Agencies could remove nearly 70% of medical debts from credit reports.
Excellent. Very good. So we'll stop counting medical debts. All right. So in other words, if you don't pay your doctor bill, this used to affect your credit score. Like, well, Arwen pays her car payment, but she didn't pay the doctor. Now they're saying we're not going to count that against you. Just so you are aware, this process in America is an extremely important motivating factor for people. Right? If you don't pay something, it can go on your report. And that can hurt you in the future, right? Make your rent higher, make it harder for you to get insurance, etc. If you look here, this is very typical for a news article in America. We have here the title, we have the subtitle, we have the author, and we have the date. These are important things, right? Because we want to know who is it that's writing this. Okay, and then you have here the title and the subtitle. Most people in the United States, when they read a news article, they only read these 2 things. They never go down and read the rest of the article. They read the title. So I don't know how that is where you all are from, but that's very common. All right, so let's continue then. Let's go to, let's go to Emma. Emma, can you read for me here number 1, 2, and 3?
The nation's 3 major credit bureau.
So this is a French word, right? French word. It's going to be bureau.
Bureaus say they are overhauling how they including medical debt in a consumer's credit history.
Yes.
The agencies say the removal will result in nearly 70% of medical debt in Americans' credit reports. This is a case where less is more for the financial lives of many consumers. Certainly during the pandemic, advocates say, but they note the people who will remain stuck with medical debt on their reports are likely going to be those who were already the most financially vulnerable.
So vulnerable. Yeah. So let's go through it then here. Let's go to Jody. All right, Jody, any unfamiliar words we don't know? 1, 2, and 3. Bureau, yeah, bureau. So it's like bureau. It's kind of what this is a French word, right? We use a lot of French words in English, especially in more academic English. This typically means a department or agency, and it's often of the government. It doesn't have to be government, I suppose, but it's more common for government. In this situation, it's not. It's a private industry, bureau. So in this sense, it might just be another word for company or business. Okay. Sometimes we also use the word a firm, right? A firm, right? This is a firm. A firm is like a giant entity. Could be private, probably more likely private. Okay. Bureau. Good. Any other words there that we don't know? What do you think? Overhaul, right? Overhaul is a verb. Overhaul, right? To haul, just so you know, means to move, and it's usually something heavy, right? That's the haul. It could also mean to kind of really run, but that's more colloquial. So overhaul means to change completely. You want to change everything about something, right? You're not just making a little change, right? I could change my hair. That's like, well, I change this little bit. If I overhaul my hair, now my hair is totally different. Okay, overhaul. Good. Any other words? Arwen, any words?
Advocate.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we actually have one of these confusing kind of heteronyms in English, right? So you have two things, right? You have two advocates and an advocate. This is a very frustrating thing, right? So this one is a verb. This one is a noun, and it's spelled the same way, but we say it differently, right? So this is an advocate. An advocate. The verb is to advocate. All right, and the same thing, this again comes from Latin, and this means to speak for. Advocates, right? So actually, I'm going to send you all this article so we can do some more on it next time. But when I advocate for something, I'm advocating for Arwen. It means I'm talking good about Arwen. I want to help Arwen. I want Arwen to advance, right? Sometimes that word advocate has a political component, right? I'm a children's rights advocate. Oh yeah? Well, every day I go to the government, I try to get money for children or whatever. Right? I'm an advocate for Taiwan. What does that mean, Emma? I'm an advocate for Taiwan. What does that mean?
You speak for Taiwan.
I speak on their behalf, maybe, but it's more like I speak to help them. I want to make Taiwan better. I'm trying to help Taiwan. I like Taiwan. So, and I go out there and I tell everyone Taiwan's the best and give Taiwan money. There you go. I'm an advocate for Taiwan. Okay. Good. All right. And actually, we can do some more of that because it's got some good words for us to practice. Okay. All right, my friends. Excellent job. I wanted to spend more time in that, but we got so deep. We got so deep into who we are and what we think. Yes. Profound, this conversation. Excellent. Yes. Any questions today, my friends, before we skedaddle?
No question, but I want feedback. I love today's topic and also love the newspaper, the way to learn English.
Yes, yes. We can do some more of that as we go forward. So thank you.
Mhm.
News articles are good. They do some things I don't like. They talk a lot in passive voice, which I do not care for because it's imprecise. So they'll say something like, North Korea is seen as a bad place. They'll say things like that. It's like, okay, by whom? Who sees them as a bad place? They do a lot of that, a lot of passive voice, and I don't like that. But generally, very good, and it's a way to build vocabulary. Good.
Mhm.
Any other questions, my friend?
Nope.
No?
Mm.
No? Boo Wenti? Or Mayo Wenti? Yeah.
Mayo.
Mayo. All right, very good. Well, I hope that you have a great day. We will see each other soon, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Bye for now.